I'm Rita Marie Johnson, Executive Director of the nonprofit Connection Practice. I'm wondering if you've been feeling as concerned as I have about the violence and psychological distress in our schools. I've needed an infusion of hope around this nightmare. I got that infusion when I unexpectedly connected 3 dots. The first one was something I'd learned about several years ago. The U.S. Department of Education and the Secret Service conducted a national study on threat assessment in schools. They wanted to determine how to create safe school climates. Their report concluded that connection is a central component of a culture of safety and respect, and that this connection is the critical emotional glue among students and between students and adults. So when there's a lack of connection, threats are bound to increase. Dot number 2. Recently, I came across a book called The Violence Project: How to Stop a Mass Shooting Epidemic by 2 professors, Gillian Peterson and James Dinsley. They took a deep dive into the lives of mass shooters, and they found there is a consistent pathway. The starting point is childhood trauma, such as violence, sexual assault, bullying, and other abuse. In recent years, these have become known as adverse childhood experiences and referred to as ACEs. So when ACEs are not healed, they build into hopelessness, loneliness, and often rejection from peers. That turns into a crisis point where youth act out with violence. 6 of the 9 deadliest mass shooters in the U.S. since 2018 were 21 or younger. So where's the hope? The Connection Practice inspires hope because it empowers troubled youth to heal and thrive at an early age. And now it's possible to teach every student in every school. I'll never forget a 5th grader named Jose who was so lonely. His parents just weren't around much, and the other kids at school weren't including him. He was failing academically, and every day it seems he was acting out more violently. After pulling a girl by her hair all the way across the playground, his teacher, who'd learned the Connection Practice, made sure that he learned it too. When Jose was asked, "Are you feeling lonely and want to belong like the other kids at school?" a big tear slid down his cheek. That empathy had opened his heart. And then, by the end of the 15-minute Connection Practice session, Jose had found his own answer. I could ask for help instead of hurting someone. Yeah. That ability to transform turmoil into intelligent choices is what every distressed student needs. And the Connection Practice efficiently delivers exactly that. It's a scientifically based wellness habit that combines empathy and insight. This synergistic combination leads to caring connection with self and with others. Caring connection with self happens when I can name my feelings and name my needs, and then access my best thinking for getting my needs met. Caring connection with others happens when I can appreciate that other person and respectfully guess what they might be feeling, what they might be needing, so then I can put myself in their shoes. Just imagine at-risk kids taking charge of their thoughts and feelings so they can build the neural pathways that will serve them well. Let's move on now to dot number 3. Last week, I discovered a study by the National Scientific Council on the Developing Child from Harvard. They explored why some children who've experienced trauma do well anyway. They concluded there are 4 factors that predispose children to positive outcomes in the face of adversity. Now, when I read those 4 factors, I saw that the connection practice strengthens every one of them. Let's look at the first one. The availability of at least one stable, caring, and supportive relationship between the child and an adult. Now, I'm guessing you may have had a parent, teacher, or other adult who made a huge difference in your life. When a caring adult learns the connection practice and passes this on to a student, their relationship's going to be grounded in emotional safety. The magnetic connection practice boards that you see in this picture ensure that each person's needs are kept literally on the table. Factor number 2 is about children having confidence they can master life circumstances. When students learn to quickly release negative feelings and access their best thinking, they're ready for any challenge that may come their way. In this picture, the teacher has taught the boys how to do that as they work through their challenges on the board. Factor number 3 is children having the skills needed for getting things done and for self-regulation. The connection practice teaches students self-empathy, empathy for others, and how to access insights by learning to achieve what's called heart-brain coherence. When students gain this skill, they can manage their emotions, enrich their relationships, learn more easily, and act on their best thinking. They become completely connected, inside and out. And lastly, factor 4 is having a supportive context of affirming faith or cultural traditions. When a group learns the connection practice, it creates a culture of care and safety. In 2020, a class at Craigmont Elementary in Berkeley learned the connection practice, and here's what happened. I thought this school year was going to be the worst of my teaching career because I was getting a cohort of kids with reputations for being difficult and even violent. Because of the connection practice, it turned out to be the best year ever. I'm so proud that at the end of this rough year of converting to distance learning, my class was the only one in the school that had 100% attendance. We stayed connected. This is from Carol Goyen, a 5th grade teacher. As I connected the findings of the 3 studies that I've shared with you, I was inspired by the picture that emerged. I saw that our country has the knowledge that's needed right now to turn our troublesome schools around. Here's a summary. Lack of connection is a primary source of threats to safety in schools. Childhood trauma, coupled with lack of connection at school, can turn into violence. Caring adults who've learned the connection practice can support students who faced adversity to have positive outcomes. The connection practice creates a school climate of safety and respect that supports all students. It fills the gap between mindfulness and therapy, and it can be scaled to millions. Of course, the connection practice isn't the only strategy for preventing school shootings. For one, we need to ensure that youth don't have access to a gun when they reach that crisis point. So the connection practice isn't a cure-all, but people say it is a cure-a-lot. It will take some time and consistency, but it will work. Why? Because champions of youth like teachers, nonprofit workers, faith-based leaders, well, they tend to be good at connection. And then when they learn the connection practice, they become even more effective at helping kids become resilient. Now, I've shown you the magnetic connection practice boards. Now we have those in a digital version. A teacher offered the connection practice to her class at St. Mary's School in Gilroy. The students have digital boards on their laptops so they can transform turmoil at any time. And they can teach their parents at home. Several students reported that they did it on their own over spring break. Friends, the connection practice has been proven over 18 years. Now that we have digital connection practice boards, we can scale it and train millions of caring adults. Our nonprofit offers free online connection practice workshops to champions of youth. And then donors provide scholarships to the next course, which is called Inner Wellness for Success. After that, the champions are ready to offer sessions to students. If you're a champion of youth, I hope you'll sign up right now for our free online connection practice workshop. Or if you know champions of youth, I hope you'll pass this message on to them and encourage them to sign up. We so appreciate the champions that we've trained who are passing this wellness habit on every day to kids. And we appreciate our donors who are providing the scholarships for their courses. Together, friends, we can turn this school nightmare into a dream worth having.